Interstate version is pretty darn cool. It's just my initial idea of getting the Goldwing, I wanted the standard version. I also have to do a bunch of maintenance to it, so I'm going to remove everything and look around the bike. It rides great. I have a little bit of an oil leak that I want to fix at the windscreen, but there's 4 bolts and they have these spacers, so you're going to remove that and this just kind of comes out. That's real metal. 2 Phillips, and I noticed that there are 2 different types, and one has got this little bucket thing. If you get an old bike like this, you'll get mismatched fairings and bolts and stuff, so always keep that in mind. Get the 2 sides here. Right here you're going to have 10mm bolts. You're going to use a socket. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to start with this one here and start unscrewing it. I have my hand on the other side just to kind of hold the bolt. So you remove that nut. There's a lock thread washer, another washer, and this washer is kind of cut into shape so it doesn't hit the fairing. That's a great touch. Move the 2 remaining ones. There's a metal bracket here. To remove the lowers, there's a Phillips here. Remove that. Yeah, there we go. So there's these clips. This side actually kind of clips onto this part. Now we're going to see if we can pull this out. It should come out. There's these tabs here. You have to pull it backwards to push it off. So the other one was a little easier, so there we go. And we're out. And there's 2 10mm. I believe this kind of holds this up. And there's also 2 10mm there, and I believe this kind of lifts up. So I'm going to remove those. There we go. It's starting to get loose. These 2 10mm that hold this metal bracket. So there's another one up here. Let's get the other one, loosen it up, and use. There we go. So now I can see all the wiring, what I need to remove. Interesting touch to the Interstate. It's got a headlight. It moves the headlight up and down using this. Seems like all the wires are connected on this left side. There's this wire, and you have this down here. We have a rubber boot, and I believe that's all the connectors for various things. I'm going to lift this up a bit. Just get that rubber boot off, and you can see that connector. And there we go. That's the connector I just removed. The connector's off the bike. Let's see if this will slide out. And it does, and it's rather heavy. You know, I'm amazed at the quality of this. It's one entire piece. It's extremely well done, as you'd expect from Honda. It's sheltered. It's got a few cracks here and there in the mounts, but it's in relatively good shape. You know, it's got the box, but it is heavy. This is like some sort of weight. That's really interesting. So it says here on the side, do not remove this weight when riding with fairing to prevent an accident. Without this weight, steering inertia movement will be reduced, resulting in loss of control. Actually, they misspelled control. And motorcycle stability. That is interesting. So this isn't just a weight. It's loose, but there's these things on the side. I'm going to remove this as well on this side and the other. There we go, coming down. Man, they use some heavy-duty parts for this bike. There we go. Hang on to that weight. Oh my God, this is heavy. That's 3 3 pounds or 3 kilograms. This is insane. This is heavy. But it also hides the electronics and the wires. They use like real metal. Most of the time these days, you just get plastic to reduce the weight. The plan is to make this bike a naked bike, but that means that we lost the blinkers and the headlight, so I'm gonna have to order a headlight and some blinkers. There's 2 Phillips here. We're gonna remove that to remove this metal piece. One of the 10 millimeters is actually from the other side. And the other is from this side. Remember, this Goldwing was made for the American market. By Americans. There we go. Remove that. I believe that's probably a 12 millimeter. Man, Honda really just put metal brackets everywhere. They wanted this to be ultra strong and sturdy. But I'm not able to remove it unless I remove the tank. We need to remove the faux gas tank, and I've already undid it, but it's this 10 millimeter here. And you have another one on the other side, so you don't have to remove them completely, you can just loosen them. The tank, you also have 2 10 millimeters here. Should be able to see if there's anything binding. Lift it straight up, past the coolant bottle. There's like, sometimes it could be hitting something. There we go, just kind of squeeze it around. I have some wires on here. We wire the speakers onto the fuse thing itself. So with this, I'm going to remove the actual wires. Now I'm going to remove this ground wire. Yeah, I do admire this about Hondas. Everything is accessible. The fuse switch, very easy to read and accessible from the inside. You didn't have to remove this. Time to remove these speakers. The speakers have been on, you know, they are nice. Remove from the top. Now, doesn't that look so much better? Faux gas tank. It's still kind of heavy. Let's put it aside. I love this sort of thing about manufacturers, making it very easy to maintain. Let's remove this. I want to check the status of the airbox. Pull this up. Yeah, you know, it's pretty clean. The previous owner told me is that it was overfilled and that's why it was smoking. And I'm looking around, I mean, it's got like a little bit of oil. It's not crazy amount. And the air filter looks pretty darn good. There's like a little chunks here and there. I'm gonna clean it off, just kind of dry it off. So, these little crash bars are mounted. So now I'm just gonna remove it this way. And this should come out somehow. It's so stubborn, it doesn't want to move. I pulled out this front stay, I guess, for the fairing. This is what supports the weight of the top fairing. The goal or the solution is to rotate it like this and slide it out without damaging anything. But this is kind of like a tight fit in between the triple tree. So that's a lot of weight savings right there. And we pretty much have stripped this thing down. Now the goal is to buy myself a nice headlight, a way to secure this on here, just putting a plate. This is where the weight was. It's like a 3 kilogram or 3 pound weight, so kind of heavy. The bike should feel a whole lot lighter. I plan on getting some handlebars that are a little bit flatter, and we'll just continue building this thing. It's kind of an amazing bike.